guys, it's Miranda here at Sunshine and Grace, where I make beautiful things for life sown in sunshine and grown in grace. Today we are doing our 3579 series, where we are making these absolutely adorable washi journaling cards using 5 items. I know it seemed to be on the kick of 5 lately. But you can see they're literally just index cards, you guys, with washi on them. But is that not pretty? I mean, look at that. And it doesn't get much simpler. So here's one that I haven't decorated yet. I just did the card. And you can see I just used 3 different types of washi. And then I take and glue some kind of a little fabric or lace or whatever you have. I have this weirdo webby looking stuff that I think is like so cool. So I used it and a die cut I had cut out with a flower glued to it. That was like kind of a little cluster thing there together. And then I put a number on this one. On the one we're going to do on camera, I'm going with a little bit more fallish theme. So I'm using a fall sticker. But yeah. So we're going to get right into this. Here's our index card. You don't want to use the lined side because, hello, the lines make it easier to journal, don't they? Oh, here's your ingredient list. Yeah, it's wrote in pencil. I hope it shows up in camera. I'm still working on, that. My ink pens are all like crud on me all of a sudden. So, yeah, right now you got pencil. I'll get a good Sharpie here soon and I'll write with that. But hopefully it shows up. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Now let's get this cracking because I'm apparently stumbling over my words and this probably will not go well. Okay, so what you do is you pick the washi you're going to use. The one that you want to be your starting, because what it works out to is if you use like this, I don't know, whatever size that is, 1/2 inch maybe, 1/4 inch, I don't know. That normal sized washi that's like the one that you get the most of when you buy that big pack at Amazon. When you get that one, it'll cover 1, 2, 3, 4 times with a skinny one of those like little, what I call kind of useless ones, but they're not useless anymore because obviously look at that, they work perfect. Takes 3 of those, so you end up using 1, 2, 3, 7 pieces of washi. Yes, 7. Okay, so we're gonna use this one, this brown, and I'm hoping I have enough of all these. This one, if not, we'll just wing it and throw something else in there. And this is our skinny bad boy. Okay, we're gonna start with this darker brown wide one. You could always cut your washi down. Ooh, that would be pretty, guys. To actually rip the edge of the... We may try that because I've never done it before. I may scrap the little washi and do the ripped one. No, I'm going to stick to my plan. That'll be another video where we rip the washi and make wavy layers because that sounds pretty too. Have I got my index card the right way? Yeah. All right. Not that it really matters on the index cards, y'all. I mean, you can write on either side end, but I'm OCD about it. Okay, now here's the part that gets me. I want that first layer straight. If you don't want your layer straight, then don't spaz over it like I'm going to. If it touches and white shows. But you can't have it. I don't want it to overhang. I just don't want the white to show. See, white's showing. I don't press too hard because it sticks. When I want washi to not stick, or to stick, it doesn't. But when I don't want it to, like when I'm doing something like this, it's going to stick. But I got it. Okay, so there's the first layer down. There's not too much white. I can hide that a little bit because we're going to ink it too. All right, then you take your thin washi, and I apologize. I'm going to measure this. This washi is not sticky. So I'm going to measure it. And then I'm going to run like a little bead of glue down it to make it stick. Just because I don't want it pilling up later. Okay. All right. This stuff is so pretty, you guys. And it does. You can see it's got like sporadic stickiness. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's very weird. Okay, glue. Normally you don't have to do the glue. I'm just doing it because that washi is really weird. And it was also the only washi that I had that matched. And was also thin. I don't have a whole lot of thin washi anymore. So, okay. me get one side started. Okay, there we go. See, is that not pretty? Okay, and then I kind of smooth them down every now and then just to make sure they're sticking and not going to go amok. Go all sizzle fits on me. Let me find the end on this one. Should have had all that done before I started, but it's okay. So how's everybody? If you hear, let me turn that down. It's a little loud sounding. I've been trying to listen to podcasts, Bibles, like audio Bible, everything like that while I'm in the studio, just to keep my mind right, you know, and stay focused on the Lord, because that's what I need to focus on. And I have to say, it has made my crafting sessions a lot more, I don't know, I feel like I have gotten more out of being in the studio the last few days when I've been doing this. And I am no longer crafting mostly at night, because now my studio is in my bedroom. It's my closet, because I don't have clothes for my closet anyways. I am very minimalist when it comes to clothing. I just have very basic clothes, so they all fit elsewhere. And this used to be a pantry, but I moved my pantry into my kitchen because it actually made more sense in the kitchen. All right, you just do the same thing. You're going to do it for every strip. Just line your washi up and then put it down. Lined up right on the edge, and you can tear it off. Okay. And then you'll do the purple again. That purple is going to be weird with this, because I thought those were purple. They're not. They're red. That's going to rip my nerves out of the frame, you guys. All right. Just a little glue. Run it down through there. And now that I think I've got this. Okay. Except I can't even hold on to it. All right, there. Once you get the first couple on straight, it gets a lot easier to get it to line up. It's just getting that first couple down is kind of tedious. Okay. And there's that one. Y'all, she's still looking pretty. All right, moving on to the brown again. And I have learned that whichever one I want to be the, like kind of the one where the focal point is going to be, make sure it is your top piece of washi that you put on. So like that. I knew I wanted the flowers to be the middle, what I call the middle, and I wanted the brown to be at the bottom. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but if you have a preference, I did in that case. On this one, I don't really care. I actually think I probably will like covering up some of the brown with the flowers, or the focal point. It's a leaf, not a flower. Okay, last brown is done. So I can shove it to the side, smooth it, put my glue down. So what's everyone been doing? Is it pretty where you guys are? Is the fall weather starting to really like pop? My favorite tree in the backyard is starting to blush. The leaves are just starting to turn a little bit. Just a few of them. I mean, they're starting to turn fully, but you know, there's only a few that have turned. And it really is my favorite. I collect the leaves off of it every year, but this year I'm getting very impatient because I don't have any leaves from last year. So I'm like wanting to use real leaves in my stuff. So I'm like so tempted to just like climb up there and climb the tree. Not going to climb the tree, you guys, because I want to live at least a little bit longer. Well, my goal is to make it to the rapture. So I'm not going to climb a tree, which would then result in me falling out of the tree into the creek and busting my head open on the rocks. But yeah, it was a thought in my mind. It did pass through there at one point. And I'm like, that would be dumb. But the idea is still there, so yeah. Y'all might need to pray for me because I might be trying to go out and climb a tree later, even though I haven't done that since like, I don't know, in like 10 or 12 years. The last time I climbed a tree was with my kid when we first moved down here. And it wasn't that tree. It was a much smaller tree. This tree is ginormous. It's a huge tree. But when it changes colors, y'all, it is stunning. Okay, there you go. You've got the bulk of your card done. You're going to want to take and probably smoosh it a couple times to make sure that it's, you know, stuck. Not that stuck that you can't pick it up, but stuck. And then you're going to take and trim all your little edges of washi off so that you're left with just a pretty card. And she is pretty, you guys. Look at that. Oh, my land. Even the purple, I was so worried about that for a split second, but now I love it. It works. And we're going to make it work even more because we're going to darken it with some ink. Because I have to ink the crap out of this. I love to ink. It's weird. I like my makeup ink even better than I like Tim Holtz ink. Which is probably good since it's a lot cheaper. I can go replace it easily. Alright, where's my inker? Let me get my ink. Open ink, open ink, open ink. Okay. And I have my little spray bottle of water here. I just spritz those little puppies up. The ones I know I'm going to use. Let that soak for a second. I do the same process when I used to wear makeup and have put on eyeshadow. Because my eyeshadow is actually everything. I used this bronzer. I used this lipstick. I used it for my eyes. Yeah. It was just an all-purpose thing. Okay, so I've got my inker inked. It's a little bit damp now, which means, hang on. I want to trim that edge right there. Can you see that? It's a little bit of washi hanging over the edge. Just a smidgen. But it might pull up while I'm inking if I don't cut it. And there's a little tiny smidgen here too. Alright. Just want to be mindful of things like that that might cause a problem. Because I don't want to tear my card up because I'm liking it. There. Okay. So, it lets my ink set up a little bit too. What I do is for this, you could actually, well, since it's wet, I can do this. The last one I tried to do was dry, the inker. So, it was kind of more of a dry, and it was slinging, basically it was slinging eyeshadow everywhere and making me insane. So I was just like, okay, lay it down, do it the cheat way. But you can see this gives just a hint of shine to your edges. That's because this one is a shiny eyeshadow. It's also my favorite eyeshadow. It was the only one I actually, well, every now and then I would put a little of this darker on, but mostly I wore that like sparkly shade. And there's a pink shade that I wore for my lips. I wore that for lips too, because it's very, very close to the eye smoke I wore back in the day from X Factor. Man, I love that. Okay, and now I'm just going to go and hit just that glittery piece to give it some depth and texture. You see how it's just like kind of darkening it a little bit, making it a little bit deeper so that it's got more of a blend with the rest of the thing. And that's it, you guys. That part is, oh my hands. You guys, it turned out awesome. Okay. Now, you want to ink the back of your index card a little bit. And this is where I do just kind of work my way around the edge, laying it down because it's faster. Ooh, guys. Look at that blend. And I do have a trick for this to make it really blend that I have been figuring out as I do this, because this is not the way I was used to doing it. Except that I put it away because I'm a dork. It might have been the one that I tried to glue to. No, there it is. Okay. I take a sponge that is not actually inked, and I just hit the paper edges a little bit. That helps to blend it. And then I'll do the same over here. it just softens the look a little. Okay. And then take a bottle or some alcohol, literally just rubbing alcohol like the stuff you put on a cut, and hold it above and spritz. Well, actually point it at the thing you're spritzing. Don't point it off to the side like I did. The alcohol dries almost instantly, and it locks the makeup into place, or the ink into place. It'll work on your face too, okay? Just saying. I used to do it a lot. Okay. And it's already dry, so we can go ahead and start decorating. We're going to cut a snippet of this, whatever it is. If you got any ideas, I don't know. I found it at the Dollar Tree. I've probably told the story before, but I was in there with my son last year, and we're like looking for, like I'm in the crafty section looking around, and my son picks it up and he's like, "What is this?" I was like, "In my cart, that's what that is." I'm like, "That's mine. I'm buying it." And he's like, "Oh, I should have known." We go in there now and he's like, "You don't need crafts." He's right. He's like, "You don't even have money for crafts." And he's right about that too. But I still look. The only time I haven't looked was the other day we went in and I was in a hurry and I was hungry. And I was just like, I really want to go to the craft section, but I'm not. I'm getting what I need and getting the heck out of here so I can go home and eat. So that day, I was actually really hungry. I hadn't eaten all day. And yeah, it was starting to hit me pretty hard. And we were getting pizza. So we allow one splurge like per pay period or whatever. And it's usually on grocery night. Because the guys know that I am not going to cook when I get home. Or if I do, it's just going to be like the quickest thing ever. Okay, so my cluster is that little tidbit. And then I have this little die cut thing that I cut out from one of my digital kits. And I just put some bling there because, yeah, why not? So I'm going to coat the back with glue. And put it down on the page somehow. I'm kind of thinking it's going to anchor right here. That is why I pushed that up a little bit, because you won't really see what's in that corner. But I wanted the, that stuff doesn't show very much. So let's try this again. It's the thing. It doesn't actually stick either because, you're putting very little glue. What you're banking on is whatever else you put down on the page to hold that puppy into place. And apparently Fabri-Tac does weird stuff to glitter washi because that's fading like weirdly. Okay, that's a little bit better. I just wanted to be able to see it off to the side a little. Okay, there's that. Here's my pumpkin or fall sticker. It says "Bring on fall," which is exactly what I was saying like 2 weeks ago because I was so ready for it. The summer heat this year was just like brutal. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. I've talked to other people who were like, man, it was just like kicking my butt big time. So I think it was brutal. I think it was just a hard summer. All right, now we're going to put our little "Bring on fall" sticker on there. Right like that. And voila. One beautiful index card to journal on using 5 items. And it probably took me way longer to explain this than it should have. But yeah, I was having fun talking. All right, you guys let me know what you think. Is it pretty? Do you like it? Show me pics over on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, wherever you want to put them. Tag me or whatever that, Yeah, I'm not down on the lingo over there. So however you do that, please. Because I want to see what you make. I want to see your take. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and all that jazz. And most of all, do not forget that Jesus loves you so much he died for you. And all you have to do is believe that to be saved eternally. And y'all, that's my prayer for every one of y'all that hears this. If you are in the sound of my voice and listening right now, I pray that you would trust that Christ died for your sins, was buried, and rose again the third day, and that you are saved, sealed, and seated in Christ because of it, okay? Love you guys. We'll chat soon. Grace and peace. Bye-bye.